bottom line of this presentation for me is that we need, in the federal government, particularly in the Department of Defense, the intelligence community, and the national security community, we need individuals with very high proficiency in foreign languages and a deep cultural understanding and knowledge of peoples and nations that we deal with.
My job historically in the organization has been to work within the United States, locally, regionally, within the U.S. So I have been working within the cocoon of the safety of the English language.
When I get a resume, when I see that a applicant for a job speaks another language, to me that adds another person to my staff. For every language they speak, I include that as another person. Gives me the opportunity to go after markets and to do work in different fields. So if you happen to be someone that speaks 2 or 3 languages, as a business owner, I'm ecstatic. That's wonderful.
In 2003, we had just entered Baghdad, and it was apparent, and this is before the insurgency, we needed linguists. So I flew back to the Pentagon and asked for 99 linguists to help us on patrols in Baghdad. We did not have 99 linguists in the Department of Defense.
Our business is growing, but our budget's not growing, and our sales staff's not growing. So my boss came to me and said, you know, you're doing such a good job here nationally, we really need your help on the overseas front.
In many businesses, we've saturated our markets here in the United States, and there is a huge, huge market outside.
And I said, sure, you know, okay. And it's a great opportunity for me. One of the first ones was he said, he's a native Spanish speaker, and he normally would go to our most important market, which is San Juan. But there was an important trip to San Juan. We meet some very important people there. He wasn't sure he could make it, so he asked me to go.
I had to look for a different revenue stream. Something that came natural to me was that I would start to export. That sounds simplistic, but the first thing I did was tell my employees who are unilingual, we were going to try and do some export, and they were absolutely terrified by this.
So I go to this meeting, and there's about 5 of us in the room, and I'm the only non-native Spanish speaker in the room.
I do get calls from many business people who ask me, I have a visitor coming from India or Sri Lanka or wherever, I don't know what to do with them.
And the meeting starts out in Spanish, and I'm doing okay. I'm holding my own. But as the meeting progresses, and they're becoming more comfortable, and things start turning, they start speaking a little faster, okay? And as when I have many good friends in Puerto Rico, and they'll speak lightning fast, you know, really fast, and then they're dropping in colloquialisms, and I'm getting lost. And one of the gentlemen there, very astute, he recognizes me. And so he turns to his friend, he turns to his colleague, and says, he tells him, switch to English. So they switch to English.
The rest of the world, I believe, has a leg up on us. We're getting a little bit better. When I started learning languages, I had neighbors and friends and colleagues that said, why would you ever want to learn another language? You know, English is the language of the world.
Well, something dramatic happened at that moment. And that is that when you're talking to people and you want to do business with them, where you want them to be is in a comfort zone. You want them to be very comfortable. You want them to be informal and casual, because that's where they're going to be candid with you about, listen, this is what's working or not working. This is what I need. Okay, and the progression of most business meetings is you start formal, right? You're very formal, oh, I do my business card, all that. And then as you go along, you tell a few jokes, you warm up, you have coffee, and then now you're informal. Well, in this meeting, I had succeeded in regressing, because we had started informal. We were doing great. We were laughing, we were joking, we were high-fiving, but now we had to switch to English, which was the second language for everyone else, except me. So there was a palpable change in what happened. And what happened was suddenly the guys started sitting up straight. Now they're paying attention. Now they've got to make sure they're watching what they're saying.
And I sometimes think I'm cursed that that was my mother tongue, because it made us less, maybe, attuned to wanting to learn another language. But once I started traveling and realized, why is everyone else in the world learning more than one language? What do they know that we don't know? To the point where, as I was traveling, people would say to me, well, you can't be American. You speak another language.
That I hope I'm the last of a generation of people who go through school and get by never fully developing a fluency in another language to the point where I can go to someone else's community and have a very candid conversation with them without having to switch to English. Because our world is just getting to the point where we can no longer rely on that. Not as a country, if we want to.